Hello everyone, this is AmberAnkNA here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I play a variety of games and do narrations for fanfics. I'm really hoping you enjoy my content. If you do, make sure to comment below, leave a like, and subscribe with the notifications on. Right, so next time, this is AmberAnkNA. Welcome to my channel. So, hi! Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas to one and all! It's the Christmas season, would it be Christmas Day today, and we are starting with a Christmas holiday tale called Eggnog Pancakes. Sunlight peeked through the tortoise season frosted bedroom window, wearing a rectangle of carpet with its mid-morning rays. The soft roofs of a passing car barely disturbed the calm silence. The sounds of movement downstairs were much the same. That all changed when the radio alarm clock on the nightstand sputtered to life. John Whisper's voice crackled through the air, causing a lighter sleeper of the two lumps under the blanket to stir. Listen to 90.3 KESP. When a minute mutters up next, we have Daughter with Winner. After the built full-length record from earlier this year. The opening guitar strums played, slowly filling in with dream-like distortion. Mascon trotted. She liked the song well enough. It was just that she wasn't ready to be woken up yet. As the singer launched into the opening verse, Max failed at the snooze button. It was just out of reach, and there was a snoring anchor wrapped around her that refused to let her go. Chloe, she grumbled quietly. The delay was part was an incoherent mumbling before Chloe's arm pulled her tighter. Max would have probably found it cute if she wasn't already a bit grumpy. Come on, Chloe! I just need to hit the snooze. Chloe's only reply was a small snore. Would help Max give up. Fine, not like I have to go to work today anyway. She listened to Chloe and let herself enjoy the music. She still hadn't figured out what to get Chloe for Christmas. It had never been that hard when they were kids. But with all the holidays they missed out on because she moved away, Max felt a certain pressure to come up with something that would make up for that lost time. It wasn't entirely fair to put all of that on her shoulders. A part of her knew, but her guilt had worn out. The problem was still what would fit that bill that Max could also afford as a barista who, being shy, didn't make a whole lot in tips. Ugh! What time is it? Chloe muttered behind her. Time for us to get up, answered Max reluctantly. There was a groan as Chloe shifted. Max's back immediately felt cold. No wonder having her human space heater pressed up against her. We gotta? Max rolled over to face her girlfriend. It's our first day off together in weeks. We should, I don't know, do something festive. We still haven't explored together. And with the Christmas lights out, Pasta Seattle are really pretty. Yeah, you're right. Chloe kissed her on the forehead. Let's eat something first, though. MK, I want to try that eggnog pancake recipe I found. Look at you, being all festive, Matt said with a chuckle, sitting up and stringing her legs out from under the covers. I was thinking you were the Grinch. Hey, I'm not that empty holiday, said Chloe, sounding a little offended. And I hate all the cheap marketing bullshit. Well, do you want these flapjacks or not? Calm down, Dale, Master Seth. Make the bacon. They shuffled sleepily downstairs. Master's parents were both gone at work already, and the two women had the house to themselves. Her dad, she guessed, had been nice enough to brew a fresh pot of coffee for them. It seemed ever so slightly on the warmer. Matt poured herself a cup and took a sip, making a face. Yuck! I can't wait till Christmas. We could afford give my parents the new coffee maker. Yeah, that seems pretty crapped out. Isn't it the same one you guys had when you moved? The one and only. Chloe immediately set to work, reminiscing around in the pantry for the things she needed, swimming quietly as something thudded to the floor. Matt tried to stifle a giggle. Chloe had been voluntary to cook a lot lately. She started getting pretty creative. Most of his experiments working out fairly well. A few not so much. The pancakes he made with wheat bill instead of water had been, well, a choice. Not as bad as the times he desired an appropriate replacement for milk, and the mac and cheese was Diet Coke. Matt's considered as that unfavorable flavor we played itself across her taste buds. She pulled the half-eaten packets of bacon for the fridge, also grabbing eggnog and butter, setting the latter two beside the missing bowl for Chloe. And Matt laid out the thick strips of curry bacon, pulled pork on the baking sheet. Her thoughts turned back to present ideas. Something for a truck? Maybe Dad and I could find a nice bunch seat at the picnic pole. Chloe could get really tussy about replacing anything in the cab, though, afraid of losing the memories of tasks. Not that, them. Banties? No, too boring. Plastic, crumble, and whip? Fuck! Max woke up from her task to see Chloe covered from chest to floor in white powder. One hand held swiftly away from her, and the other hand pressed to her forehead, eyes wide in disbelief. What did you do? Max asked, covering her mouth and laughing. I just... the package! Chloe sputtered, gustling at the mango batter pancake mix, turned violently down one side. Damn it! It's okay, Chloe. Master stood. I get the broom. You clean yourself up. Is there still enough the mist left? Chloe sighed, shoulders settling. Yeah, probably. Her brows soft and eyes begun to listen. Shit! Mass was over. An instance of humor in the sizzling and elaborating. Hey! What's wrong? She asked easily. Chloe shook her head and looked away, biting her lip to keep it from trembling. I'm never gonna be as good as this as my mom was. You don't have to be. Matt stripped her arms around Chloe and pulled her closer. Plus, I'm sure your mom failed at opening packages plenty of times, especially when she was still willing to cook. Chloe buried her face in Matt's hair, crying quietly. I just wish she was still here, you know? Now Matt was fighting back tears. Even with how many times Chloe had promised she didn't blame her, she still felt culpable for what had happened to Joyce. I know. Me too. Chloe draped the towel around herself, feeling forced for a breakdown in the kitchen area. It seemed that the closer they got to Joyce's favorite holiday, the more easily little things set her off. Yesterday it was a salmon woman had cooked. With a balance of spices he used had reminded her Chloe of how her mom used to make it. 2 days earlier, it had been hearing scenarios, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." She could still remember her mom singing along to it while they decorated the house each year. They could feel the steamy air at where her phone sat on the counter. It wasn't the first time she thought about messaging David. Max had made her promise she would either on either Christmas Eve or the big day itself, but while they at least didn't hate each other anymore, that didn't necessarily mean that she liked interacting him either. Still, she bet he understood better than most how she was feeling. No, if you talked about it just made it worse. Instead, she got dressed and headed back downstairs. Max was waiting for her with a cup of coffee. Not a trace of the powdery mess she made left on the living room floor. "Here!" She smiled sweetly and passed the mug, almost scaring hot in Chloe's hands. It felt nice. "I couldn't find the recipe you were using, so they just regular pancakes, but they're ready if you want one." A wave of strain washed over Chloe as she saw the nicely placed silverware in 2 plates, each with a large golden pancake already on it. Waiting on the table. "I should have been here to help her. Not using my sit in the bathroom." Not wanting her guilt to come off as ungratefulness, though, Chloe said, "Sure, Max, you're the best." "We see if you agree when you taste it," said Max with a half smirk. Max had done a good job. There may not have been any added flair, but the straight from the bar's pancakes were fluffy and delicious nonetheless. The bacon was just the right amount of crispy, too. Cleanup was quick, and after Max got herself washed up, they headed for the front door. Max grabbed her camera bag on the way out. The front yard and narrow concrete walkway were free of snow, which wasn't a big surprise. It had been in the mid-40s and drizzly for the last few days. Even the mornings hadn't been icy. Considering how bald Chloe's tires were getting, she considered that a blessing. "Gonna have to replace those soon." She was honestly surprised with how long they lasted, since they haven't been in the best shape even when she acquired the truck 3 years earlier. Her keys jingled as she took them from her pocket. Max grazed over. "Put those away!" "Where are we going? You don't need keys." "Will too, first mate," Chloe said, receiving her pack of smokes and maintaining a grin. Poking out a silhouette, she was careful to avoid the one that was flipped butt down. "To the bus stop. I have a few ideas in mind." "Lead away." Chloe followed Max down the concrete steps to the sidewalk, taking her midden hand as they headed east to interrupt the E-lane at Aurora and 46. It had taken a while, but Chloe had finally begun to remember street names. Not many, but some. Aurora was really easy. It was the closest main drag into Seattle proper. It even had a dope troll shelter under part of it. The city still felt too big, though. Acadia Bay had barely been bigger than Max's neighborhood. Max pulled Chloe closer. I don't mean to pry. Are you okay? You haven't said anything since we left the house. Realizing they already been walking for a few minutes, Chloe said, yeah, does overthinking. Oh? There was that sofa of worry again. Max tried to cover it up with a bit of self-depressing humor, but Chloe saw right through it. I thought that was more my department. Apparently there's enough room for both of us. Chloe looked out at the endless sea of houses and apartments, tressing over the little hills like they were going over Olsen's cells. How do you get used to it? Max looked at her, confused. How do I get used to overthinking? Chloe laughed. No! I meant get used to how big the city is. It feels like it could destroy you up. Or like a giant labyrinth that you'll never find your way out of. Feeling pathetic today? I see, said Max with a smirk. Well, I figured someone had to break your monopoly up on beatnik hobbies, Chloe joked. That called a giggle out of Max. Suppose I can let you have the one. Still didn't answer my question, Chloe said with a twinkle nose. I never really thought about it, said Max thoughtfully, tracing her eyes along the same houses that Chloe had a moment ago. The first few years were really tough. Really, really tough. Kristen and Fernando helped a lot. Chloe choked back the first bitter hints of resentment. No, he was unworried. It took longer. He had Rachel, Seth, and Mikey. Max needed friends up here too. I think I need to give the two of them a second chance. I was kind of a bitch last time. See, Sal, they probably hate me. They don't hate you, Max asserted. But you definitely didn't leave the best first impression. Seems to be my specialty, said Chloe. It might take some time, but trust me, they love you. Chloe streaked Max's arm with her own. All right, I trust you. Walking to the West Lake Park during December always felt like going to a modernized Whoville with a giant Christmas tree in front of high rises lit up in festive reds and greens. Max and Chloe stared in awe at the dazzling lights, so visible even in the gray tones of late morning. This is so cool, said Chloe, letting go of Max so she could spin around and take it all in. She was grinning like a little kid again, eyes twinkling with excitement. Her cheeks and nose were flushed from the cold. She looked beautiful. Max got her to stop long enough to pull out her camera and snap a picture, placing the Polaroid in her coat pocket to warm it up. Max fought the sob emotions that threatened to ruin the moment, but one thought managed to make it through. I missed out on so many years of this with her. All because I was 2 zeros of zero in a simple test. She stopped the fart from snowballing any further. But I knew the memories were going to rattle around in her head for a long time. Chloe grabbed Max's hand, snapping her back to the moment. Come on, Max! I hear trumpets! Max chuckled as he was towed along towards the sound of the brass ensemble that had formed along the sidewalk. Slow down, Gold Wonder! There might be ice! They shot past storefronts, Max gazing into the windows to get as much as a glimmer of inspiration. When that inspiration came, it wasn't remotely what she would have expected. hung up on display in the plain glass window of a kitchen store. She saw it. Maybe I could get something like that for Chloe. It would have to be either pirate or punk rock theme, though. That can't be too hard to find, right? Chloe stripped an arm around Max as they finally stopped, watching the group play. I didn't realize you liked this kind of music, Max asked. Chloe shrugged. I've seen plenty of concerts, but never street musicians. It's just kind of cool. With a smile, Matt said, yeah, I guess it is. She almost made a joking comment about KFA and the orthophies it lacks. Beginning what had happened, the laughs was only for a split second, but left her feeling hollow deep in her chest. How many people have empty seats at their tables for the holidays because of the choice I made? Matt looked at Chloe, who was grinning like a grill at the musicians, and knew she couldn't have made any other choice in that moment. That still wasn't going to stop the nagging voice gnawing away at the back of her head. Why the long face, Maximus? Chloe said cheerfully, turning to look at her. There was no hiding the worry in Chloe's eyes, though, as they searched Maximus for an answer. Just overthinking, said Max, echoing Chloe's words from earlier. Before Chloe could come up with a response, Max reached up her mittens, looping them around the back of Chloe's neck. Chloe's hands found Max's waist and pulled their bodies thrust against each other. They both leaned in for the kiss. Chloe's lips draped, cracked, and not all that warm, but to Max they were perfect. Neither of them was super comfortable with public displays of affection, so the kiss didn't last long. But it left Max feeling a bit better. I love you, Max said into Chloe's shoulder, her words muffled. I love you too. The friendly and salted garage wasn't as cold as outside, but wasn't pleasant either. Chloe balanced on the top of the step ladder, ignoring the printed warning and just doing just that. She could feel Max's unease below as she steadied the ladder. What spot did your mom say? Brown one on the left. Are you sure you're okay up there? Don't worry, I'm not gonna fall off, dismissed Chloe. Max didn't seem convinced, but nonetheless said, all right, just be careful. Chloe saw the boss and carefully wiggled it out from between the others. And red markers on the side of it was with an S-miss. As soon as it was no longer supported by the self, though, a sudden imbalance sent Chloe wobbling. Whoa! Shit! Chloe! Max yiped in fear. Luckily, Chloe was able to stabilize herself, holding the box in one hand and grabbing the rough wooden edge of the cell with her other. I'm good. Max wasn't good, though. She was frozen in place, palm hold out and pressed her to the fur, being quick and swallow through Clint's teeth. Her eyes showed straight ahead, on focus. Chloe climbed down and set the boss. Set the boss on the concrete floor. Max, hey, I'm alright. Nothing to be worried about, okay? She placed a hand on Max's shoulder, hustling slowly so their faces were on the same level. Max's hand slowly lowered. I almost rewound. Fuck! She gazed around nervously, like she'd been startled from the nap and was trying to regain her bearings. Why did I let you climb up there? Stupid! Take it easy, Max. You're always stupid. I need some ale. Max forced back into the house, probably to grab her hat and scarf. Way to go, Chloe. She cuddled herself, looking at the door. Max had just disappeared from Phil. Actually, both easy to set off lately. Wanting to give Max a moment before following her, Chloe picked the box back up and carried it into the living room. Vanessa and Ryan looked between her and the front door with concerned curiosity. It's a long story. My fault, Chloe says seriously. I go talk to her in a minute. Oh, wait, said Ryan. The concern was still there, but he didn't pursue any further. He came to the understanding pretty quickly that there were just certain things Max and Chloe weren't willing to talk about with anyone but each other. Vanessa was usually good about it too, but was also pretty clearly where Max had gotten her occasional nosy streak from. Was it a memory that set her off? Kinda, she said hesitantly. Felt like she could explain to them the fact that Max had reversed uncountable timelines where Chloe had died. That was a bit too big of a pill to swallow, even if it were up to her to tell. Deciding a change of subject was in order, Chloe asked, "Was this the white box?" Vanessa followed. "Yes! Let's take a look at what's inside." Chloe unfolded the top flaps, busting aside a cobweb in the process. There were smaller boxes containing snow-covered ceramic collars and sops, a couple wooden reindeer, and various other festive knickknacks. Off to one side, though, was something that didn't seem to fit in with the rest of the box's content. She carefully accepted the large inner little brown object. As soon as she realized what it was, she knew exactly what to make for Max. A little while later, she joined Max outside. Max was staring across the road at something specific or at nothing. Chloe wasn't sure. "Hey!" Max shivered. "Hey. You okay?" Shuffling her shoe back and forth on the concrete, Max answered, "Yeah, just got a little freaked out." Chloe wrapped her arms around her to help warm her up. "Sorry, I know I should be more careful. I should have stopped you." "Stop blaming yourself," Chloe shrewd. "It was my bad. Hard it may be to believe sometimes, I am an adult. I don't want you to feel like you have to babysit me." Max Huntston went on herself. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel like I was." "You haven't. Not really." Chloe kissed the top of Max's head. "I know how your brain works." "But did anyone else?" Chloe smiled slightly at that. "Let's get back inside. It's cold out here." Max sniffled, but nodded her head in agreement. "Okay." Shirley was far from Max's swimsuit. She realized, barely saving her hand from being pulled into the machine, the scissors weren't evenly spaced or straight. At one seam, the fabric had bunched a little bit. Her task was made even harder by the fact that she could only work on her project when Chloe was at the shop. That also meant no helpful guidance from her mom, who looked similar hours to Chloe. Max had often been unable to find the gifts she'd been looking for, and had decided to make it herself. This was her first try. She got very familiar with the seam whipper. One time, a little too familiar, resulting in the band-aid on the tip of her left index finger. Ryan walked by the open door, stopping when he saw Max trying to change out a ribbon of black thread. I thought I heard the sewing machine. He stepped into the room. What are you working on? Max jumped childily, feeling like she'd been bit off more than she could chew. Chloe's gift. I don't know what I'm doing. This was a bad idea. Mind if I take a look? Max tooted the trail back and gestured toward her. Quason. Abomination is more like it. Sliding his reading glasses down his nose and moving to where he could get a better view, Ryan looked over Max's handiwork. Better than I could do, that's for sure. Don't take this the wrong way then, but I think it's pretty ugly. Max immediately admitted sadly. She's gonna hate it. Ryan let out a hearty laugh. Trust me! Chloe is going to love anything you make her. You really think so? I know so! Rowan stroked his beard contemplatively. You've always been your worst critic, but Chloe's always been your biggest fan. Besides, your mother and I, of course. He winked. Wait, Matt smirked. It's not lame. Rowan shrugged. I will it. Seeing the look on Matt's face that grounded, he laughed again. Okay. Maybe not the best way to make that point. Matt slowly started to nod. I get what you're saying. Just as Ryan was about to leave, Matt called out. Hey, Dad? Yeah? Thanks. Ryan smiled. Anytime. Chloe sat at the break table, holding up two Polaroids to compare. Perry! Which one of these do you think is better? After setting his sandwich down and wiping the crumbs from his fingers with a soft wag, Perry guiltily took the pieces from her. He hummed from a closed mouth still full of bread, meat, and lettuce. He handed the one of a young Max and Chloe and a driftwood fork back to her. Really? This one? Why? Perry set the other picture in front of her before picking his sandwich back up. I don't know. The lighting just seems better. I should have known I wasn't going to be able to eat in peace when you brought out a bright pink shoebox full of Polaroids. He joked. What are you trying to do? Lettuce crunched as he took another bite. I'm making something for Max, Chloe said reluctantly. It's a secret, though, so hush. Perry held up his hands in surrender before making a zipping gesture over his mouth as he continued the chew. Swallowing the bite, he said, I'm guessing that also explains the giant pack of permanent markers in your cubby. Yep. You're gonna let me see it when it's done? Perry asked. Chloe shrugged her eyebrows together, contemplatively. Yeah, I could probably use a second opinion. It's been a while since I've done anything artistic that wasn't graffiti. Shaking his hand and snickering, Perry looked at her incredulously. Didn't know I let a damn delinquent into my shop. I personally prefer the term street artists. Thank you very much, Chloe said, firmly offensive. Seriously, though, the Blue Hill and Tractor didn't give me away. Never judge a book by its cover. Perry whined slyly, wagging a finger in her dressing. The heart you did all over the inside of your truck was a pretty giveaway, though. Alright, yeah, you got me there. Perry crumbled up the parchment paper his sandwich had been wrapped in and tossed it like a baseball. It bounced off the wall and into the garbage can. Nice shot! Smoke time. Then back to work. You know it. We still got a lot to do on that van in the next 2 days. Let's get it done. The white velvet skull still back at her with a toothy grin. Max had wanted it to be more menacing and badass, but instead ended up with something more cartoonish and friendly looking. If only she saw it sooner, or else we learned how to sew beforehand. Now time to do it over again. So this is what we get. Rather than the crossbows beneath the skull, Master decided on a different take. They laid the carve on a clothes password and spoon across each other. Deciding they were close enough to scale. Once they were properly in line, she stuck pins through them to hold them in place. Just a little more sewing to go. Yo, Perry! Check it out! Perry looked away from his old copper-weighted monitor as Cody set the brightly dedicated book down on the counter of his desk. He slid his reading glasses down his nose with one finger. What's this? My gift from Mass! You wanted to see? Perry brushed the eyebrows upward. Oh, sure! Let's take a look! He picked it up and turned it in his hands, looking at the illustrations Corey had done all over the cover. You did all this with permanent marker? Suddenly Corey's confidence varied. Yeah! I never really learned how to paint, so it's the best thing I could do, she explained nervously. It looks fantastic! I didn't even realize it was possible to stay with it like that. Wait, for real? You think it's good? Corey said, surprised. Perry nodded. You got talent, Price. He opened the cover and began the page through. Max is going to love this. It was almost 11 when the call failed and Corey returned home from Christmas Eve dinner in Everest. Max's cousin Alice had warned Corey and Max out playing pirates, and they were contentedly silent in the back seat as Ryan parked the car. They gathered up leftovers and presents to carry in. Ryan and Corey competing to see who could carry more. Vanessa and Max just shook their heads as they grabbed the last few things. Vanessa stripped the head of them and locked the door. Corey stepped inside. The multicolored lights on the tree glowed cozily in the otherwise dark living room, glistening from glass Christmas tree ornaments in the windows. Corey was entranced, staring at it until Ryan flipped on the kitchen light. Ryan heard that the object in her arms actually weighed a fair bit. She set the presents on the dining room table before bringing leftovers to Vanessa, who must have had some magical checklist-related power that allowed her to fit an infinite amount of containers into the fridge. Maybe superpowers won in the family, Chloe joked to herself. When everything was stowed away, Ryan put on a Santa hat and gathered them all in the living room to open their presents to each other. Max and Corey took the love seat, huddling together as Ryan handed out the small assortment of gifts. The ones from Max's parents are mostly practical things to help replace what had been left behind in Acadia. Socks, flannels for Chloe, and sweatshirts for Max. Film for the Polaroid, supplies for the truck. Chloe wondered her excitement over such things was a symptom that she was getting old. Vanessa and Ryan unwrapped their presents. The fancy coffee meter that Max and Chloe had pulled the money together for. Ryan especially seemed overjoyed. Chloe picked up her last present, The sparkly bag felt light. Tissue paper jutting from the top at weird angles. The tag said it was from Mouse, who watched her nervously. I know you've been working on some secret project, Chloe thought as he grabbed a handful of the tissues and set it aside. Beneath was something made of cloth. That cloth folded into a nice bundle. She carefully lifted it out of the bag. It unfolded, revealing a goofy skull and cross-kitchen implement sewn into the front of what turned out to be an apron. Holy shit! Chloe exclaimed, grinning. Did you make this? Matt started bubbling fretfully. Kinda. I bought the plain apron and sewed everything else on. I knew you wanted to cook more, and sometimes it gets messy. You like pirates. Mass, I love it! Chloe grabbed Mass and squeezed her tight. This is so dope! She stood and stripped it over her head, then tied the thin strap snug behind her back. You better bet I'm gonna try to make us pancakes again next time we both have a day off. Smiling with relief, Mass picked up her present from Chloe. The paper was attached horizontally, and excess amount of tape held it all together, but also caused Mass some struggle in getting it open. Someone liked damaging the paper, but wasn't left with much of a choice this time. Finally, making a decent tail, Mass shred the flat book from its wrapping. Her eyes lit up when she saw the illustrations of scenes from their childhood on the cover. Oh my god! Open it! Chloe encouraged. Mass flipped open the cover and brought a hand up to her mouth. Polaroids of them as kids were intermixed with Chloe's impressions of drawings they had made at the corresponding ages. There were little cartoony pirates, superheroes, Mass eating a massive jawbreakers, and as many more as Chloe had been able to remember, as Mass continued to turn the pages. Oh, Chloe! This is amazing! She looked like she was about to cry. Her parents came over to take a look, nodding with approval. Where did you find all of these? Mass asked. Chloe shrugged, trying not to make a big deal of it. I may have, borrowed your box of old pictures? Sorry, the drawings were from memory. I love it! Thank you! There is one more present, said Vanessa, modeling for Ryan to go get it. He stood and went to the leaden closet, emerging with a medium-sized cardboard box. David left specific instructions on the outside. Ryan handed the box to Chloe. Sure enough, she saw words sold in bag beside the packing label. Subtitle is dirty but still legible. For Chloe, open in private. Fragile. Don't say. What do you think it is? Mass asked curiously. I have no idea, dude. We're going to bed if you want to open it down there, offered Ryan. Mass heard her parents. Merry Christmas. Have a good night. Good night, honey, Ryan said. Vanessa smiled. Merry Christmas, you two. Once Mass's parents had headed upstairs and they heard the door close, Chloe set to task. She flipped open her knife, and made quick work of the packing tape. The top of the box was loosely packed with others, potting a smaller box contained within. Chloe stared at it and grumbled. How many more boxes do you think are inside of this one? Chloe, be nice. Matt said calmly. Chloe snickered. What? He's not here to heal me. But he was nice enough to send you a present. Okay. Chloe opened the smaller box. What was inside made her pause. What is it? Asked Max, leaning in. There were a number of items carefully placed together, mostly pictures and other keepsakes from Chloe's house. Resting on top of it, was a bracelet made of dark brown and pale blue leather. Chloe gently lifted it up as if afraid it was going to crumble to dust. Max's eyes went wide. Laura, is that Weasel's bracelet? Chloe finished quietly. Where did he find this? As I saw, Frank was wearing it. In a diner. The realization that made Chloe bite her lip to stop the tears. So he probably had a design for Frank's body too. Chloe could tell Max wanted to say something optimistic, but they both knew the story. Instead, Max just nodded. You aren't going to be jealous if I will this, are you? Chloe asked, voice shaking. No, of course not, Max said, rubbing Chloe's back. This all meant a lot to you. Us being together shouldn't have to change that. Chloe bit her lip again, immediately saying, Thank you. Can you retie it? Max gave a single somber nod. I can try. Max followed with the knot, having to start over a few times. But Emily got it. Chloe held up her wrist, getting used to the feel of the warm leather against her skin. That was when she broke. She tried to steal her face away from Max, and realized that the tears trickling down her cheeks. Max only pulled her in closer, soft lips buzzing her forehead. I know it's not okay right now, Chloe. She murmured into Chloe's ear. But we will be. Emily. Deep down, Chloe hoped Max was right. Ryan looked at Vanessa from across the dining room table. Concern etching creases in his forehead as there was another chatter from the kitchen. Should I be worried? He asked in a whisper. Vanessa stippled her fingers and smirked at her Inca's husband. Chloe's gotten a lot better since the last time she cooked for us. Plus, it's Christmas, and they wanted to cook breakfast for us. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. He relaxed a little, but still crossed back to a joke. As long as I said gift horse isn't asking children hers. Honey! Vanessa warned good-naturedly. Wait. Curtsied Ryan. Be supportive. Got it. He sipped his coffee, fresh from the new coffee maker, and closed his eyes contentedly. Chloe Max emerged from the kitchen, Chloe her new private apron, setting down a plate of bacon and cooling rack, soaked high with a purpley golden brown pancakes. Chloe seemed practically pleased with herself, barely holding back a grin. Everything else they needed, plate settings, drinks, syrup, and so forth, was already set out on the table. This was amazing, girls, commented Vanessa. Even Ryan nodded in approval. Thanks! Dig in! Chloe offered as he sat down. Hopefully we made enough. Vanessa took some bacon and passed the plate before carefully lifting a pancake from the set. Do I smell nutmeg? Maybe, Matt said slyly. Ryan had already poured a moderate helping of syrup on his pancake and cut into it, bringing the fork up to his mouth. He took a bite and began to chew, his eyes also up in surprise. Is there eggnog in this? Ding, ding, ding! We have a winner! Chloe exclaimed. Then, more self-consciously, does it taste okay? Oh man, he's off a track sick, said Wyatt, silently coughing off another piece and calling the bean to herself. Matt stared at Chloe from across the table, a dreamy look in her eyes and a warm smile spreading across her face. Noticing that Vanessa had caught her in the act, though, she blushed and hurriedly stuffed a piece of bacon in her mouth. When they were done eating, the girls carted the dirty dishes off to the kitchen and started cleaning up. Okay, you were right, said Ryan quietly. Vanessa giggled. One day you'll realize that's usually the case. Ryan shrugged, sighed. I think even with everything that had happened, sending Matt back to the cave was a good decision. As apprehensive as I was about Chloe living with us, the two of them need each other. I haven't seen Master Alpha since, well, since William died? Vanessa asked, frowning at the thought. Yeah. Ryan shifted in his seat. Weird how much it feels like I was both a whole other lifetime and just yesterday. Vanessa stirred her coffee avidly, remembering. I know what you mean. The girls returned, Chloe looking like she unintentionally taken a shower. Chloe's going to trains, Matt announced. Vanessa holding a laugh as Chloe growled disappointedly. What happened? There was an accident, grumbled Chloe as she headed upstairs. So, what's the plan for the rest of the day? Matt asked. Ryan said, let's go see what board games we have in the closet. Hi everyone. This is AmberAnkNA 2000 again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Because, I really did enjoy making it. But, so I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe with the notifications on down below. Till next time, bye!